to get here. This is not a team to be slept on. Thotot and E gonna be going up against Axscent and Reaper, getting ready for game number 1. We see a lot of axes in this one, but another Val similar to what we were seeing in North America with Santi and Simba.
Stage Bandit coming through. Don't regularly see this many Brins in a game. Seeing one on each side from E and Axscent. We're going to Mammoth Fortress. The rest of the characters we have seen today, we did see, obviously, Isatru play the Brin earlier, but not used to seeing this many in a single game. We also have the Val here and the Barraza.
Yeah, it's looking like an EU game with the number of axes and the number of Brins that we're seeing right now. But it is, in fact, Southeast Asia. As we get right on into game number 1, we see an Axscent on the Brin, Reaper on the Barraza, and a little bit of team damage being put out from this blue team just to start this one off.
Now, Axscent does have 2 letters of the word axe in his name right next to each other, so I'm inclined to believe that he has a very solid axe. We'll see if he's able to convert that into damage and those damage into knockout.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, he named himself Axscent with the hopes that he would be good with it, right? Like when your parents name you Hope or
okay. I was so curious on what name you were gonna come up with.
I was like, there's got to be a name, but the first one that came to my mind was Money, and that's not a real human name.
Yeah, like, no, you saved it. You did great. Yeah. You did far better than I think anybody expected you to explain your way out of that.
Yeah, I got to keep myself on the toes, all right, sometimes. But we do see Eric, only one still on that first stock. And as I speak, Reaper finds the side air to take Eric down.
2 axes on the field for the blue team. There's a set of gauntlets and a spear. Are they going to try and clean this edge guard up? You saw a little bit of a 2v1 combo going onto E, and then Axscent threw a neutral light out over the corner in case Thought peeked over a little bit.
Ooh, big side air. Nice reversal coming out from Reaper. Team combo opportunity, but Reaper a little bit delayed on that side heavy. Not going to lead to the knockout onto Eric, but the down sig will do it.
4 stocks to 2 here. As we move into almost 2 minutes into this game. It's a down air from E. Nice D-Light side air. Good follow-up from Thought. Going over onto Reaper, hitting the Nair as well. Oh, look at the timing. Almost perfectly synchronized.
Looking like a swimmer right there. Thotot gets the side sig over the corner on the right side, and E picks up the side sig on stage to even up the entire stock count.
Neutral sig coming out from Reaper. Gonna split the red team up. Thought answering back, hitting down airs on one member, then the other member.
Nice recovery from Eric. Gonna launch Axscent. That side air puts Axscent off. Eric not gonna look for the turnaround, instead trying to get back onto the stage. Everybody's still holding on to these final stocks. Eric gets launched high, then neutral light sends Thotot off the screen.
Now, the better option there might have been the side signature. That's going to have a lot of active frames, so you don't have to time it as perfectly. I think that's why he went for the neutral light over, like, a side air or anything like that. He would have had to do, like, a jump fast fall side air very quickly. He would have had to time it much better than a neutral light. I think he could have definitely gotten away with a side signature that would have immediately led to the kill. But still, man, the rest of the decisions Reaper made were fantastic.
Yeah, Reaper,
because he almost put out 700 damage, 5 KOs.
Reaper did very well for himself in that game number 1. I think, of course, neutral light as just a pure reaction to follow up off your teammate is not a bad decision at all. Of course, if you can get that extra force, if you have that presence of mind, go for it. But I can't blame him for just going for the immediate reactionary neutral light.
Oh yeah, of course not. Neutral light's still going to be a very good move. It still has a solid amount of force on it. I mean, you remember BCX 1, Axe Neutral Light was like one of the favorite knockout moves of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it works. But we're going to get right on into game number 2. Of course, plenty of opportunities for that Axe Neutral Light to knock out, as we've got 3 axes, or 3 potential axes on the board. And we're going to be going right back to Mammoth Fortress for game number 2.
Now, stance-wise coming out, you're seeing defaults from Reaper and Thought. Then on E, I think it was the defense stance. I didn't happen to catch the other one.
Axscent was the other one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that was strength stance. Whichever
Okay.
one took out a dex.
But even though Axscent and E are playing the exact same character, they have different focuses on how they want to choose their stance.
Yeah, just different priorities on what's important. Of course, everyone has their own mindset on what is the most important stat in the game. In 2v2s, it can vary. A lot of people tend to prioritize defense a little bit more than they would in 1v1s.
Now, you talked about those potential 3 axes. They're getting them right off the bat. You're seeing 3 of them on the field in this Val pick over on the sword. Nice spot dodge into the D-Light dare. Tried to get the ledge cancel.
No.
D-Light going back and forth, starting off big.
Axscent got caught by his teammate's weapon toss and unfortunately gonna fall. First stock goes the way of the red team.
That was some quick work on that sword from Thotot. Tried to spot dodge that down signature from Bryn. You ain't spot dodging that, dog.
That is active frames, my guy, but he almost did it. Like, he almost had the timing.
Neutral sig coming out from E, even though Axscent's not very damaged. Chased him into the sky. Now it's E and Axscent over on the edge. GC down signature. Axscent didn't get hit at all during that entire time, even though the dodge was not on cooldown. Or the dodge was on cooldown.
Yeah, it was E and Axscent kind of dancing around each other. That mirror match can be rough because they're going to do essentially the same thing that you're going to do. So you're just playing around a mirror of yourself. Weapon denying. Reaper going to be sticking with the blasters.
Did he want that? I don't know if he wanted that.
Yeah. It didn't
It seemed like he wanted the axe more.
He was like, I'll pick up something. I don't want to be disarmed right now.
Yeah, you saw him and Axscent kind of doing the same thing over there. You saw them both throw their weapon up. I think they both wanted to maybe switch, and then there was just a little bit of a disconnect on who was going to switch because they didn't want to leave the other one without a weapon.
Meanwhile, Thotot finally loses that first stock over on the left side. Nice weapon toss. What was that gravity cancel Ensig from Reaper?
4 stocks to 3. The Bryn's very badly damaged on their second stock. Meanwhile, Reaper fresh on his final stock. But the real story here is Thotot living very healthy on the second stock.
Yeah, right now, blue team is hoping that they can finish off these 2 stocks of Eric and maybe go for the 1v2 on the Thotot. But they can't even get that opportunity. Blue team just keeps getting spread. Nice recovery.
Side air. Gonna split the blue team up a little bit, but you see Axscent immediately rotate over.
Oh,
Big. I think that was a beautifully placed sweet spot there. Reaper is done. He's out of the game. Blue team, Axscent alone, staring at 3 stocks from red. Gonna give E all the chance in the world to grab that weapon. Definitely in the lead here. That's gonna be so tough to knock him out that early. You're gonna have to do absolutely everything right, and he'll have to do everything wrong.
yeah, you're basically relying on him panic jumping into a lot of your attacks. But right now, red team, they're just going for this death sandwich towards Axscent. Getting some good hits. Any trade is in the red team's favor. Big ground pound.
Started with a nair, followed up with a recovery. The recovery turned him red, and the ground pound finished it off. Thotot out with 609 damage. Solid numbers there, but good numbers across the board, really, because you look, E putting out 402. You compare that to the blue team, both blue team members putting out more. So the numbers are relatively close, even though the red team was quite a bit in the lead.
Yeah, about like 100 damage total difference between the 2 teams. But either way, Thotot really putting out a lot of that damage and getting 4 of the knockouts for the team. Very beneficial for that red team. And we're going to get right on into the next one. Probably Mammoth again.
I wouldn't bet against you. That is probably where we are going. Shipwreck and Apocalypse still on the board. Both of those banned out. We're going to Mammoth. No character swaps. Yeah, it is Strength and Dex stance coming out. E is on the Dex stance. Axscent is on the Strength stance. Now, that's kind of completely opposite because the Strength stance is actually going to take out of Dexterity.
Yeah, that's interesting that E's prioritizing Dexterity, especially in 2v2s. Like, low dex is really not bad, especially when you have a teammate who can cover you. Having low dex, like, it's fine if you're in recovery frames because your teammate's just going to make sure that you don't get hit.
And that's interesting because we've seen kind of similar thinking on Olgrim a lot. I think especially in EU, there are ones that are like, like no dex Olgrim. Give me the stance that takes out of that. And then you have like another side of that are like, no, please give me 4 dex. I need the 4 dex.
There's definitely a very vocal few who are like, give me negative dex if you can. Like, I just want all those stats somewhere else. We are seeing
dodged through.
A complete departure
Thotot
from the
very
last game.
red.
Yeah,
definitely.
Nice side air, sends E off. Blue team gonna get that first stock. Thotot very damaged, but a side sig launches Axscent. Reaper not able to find the punish onto it. Nice from Axscent, the ground pound from above.
Oh, man, just a little bit mistimed on that neutral signature.
Whoa.
Oh, the bottom side of that hitting Thotot.
That actually saved Reaper's life, too. He did not have the movement for that. That chase dodge is what got him that wall touch. Meanwhile, though, E was able to get that stock off of Axscent, trying to keep this one close.
Reaper still living over here. The red team not going to pursue getting the knockout on the Reaper in that edge guard situation. They're going to go put pressure onto Axscent. Except they weren't really able to accomplish too much. He hasn't hardly taken any damage on this second stock. There's the side light. D-Sig coming out. Thotot is not going to be spot dodging that one. He's just over and away from it. Meanwhile, E gets knocked out. There's another D-Sig. This time it hits and the ground pound to follow it up. Are we going to see weapon toss or any other edge guard?
Oh.
There's the ground pound. Thotot definitely had enough to get back, but that threat from the ground pound of Axscent, that gave Thotot like enough hope that he could somehow get the hit, maybe get a chase dodge up and get through it or counter punish somehow, but he just ended up falling.
Yeah, that's that body bait, right? Like, you put yourself there when they have no other option and they think that they can either go for the wall or go for the ground pound, and they always go for the ground pound, and you avoid it and they knock themselves out.
Looking like Reaper and Axscent are going to take this one, putting them up 2-1 in the set. Thotot fighting for his life here.
Oh.
All right, he's just going to follow his death.
It
literally doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter as he responds in. Okay, I don't know what he's doing, bro.
Yeah, they're just messing with each other now.
That's going to clean it up.
I have expected Axscent to interrupt that downlight and be like, no, you can't get that knockout. 187 damage put out from Thotot.
Ooh.
Complete shutdown by the blue team. Did not allow Thotot to get anything.
That is going to be Axscent, and I believe, let me add that up. That's 440. Okay, that's, Axscent doing more damage, but not Reaper doing more damage than both members of the other team combined.
I was like, you're about to tell me that Reaper's like 400 damage is less than 180 something?
But still putting out solid number. I think he did like 540 or something like that. So mid 500s, great number, especially when your teammate's putting out a little bit over 600. So yeah, solid work. Solid work from the blue team, just completely shutting Thotot down.
We're seeing Mammoth banned out this time. Looks like Thotot and E were not feeling Mammoth Fortress as we're about to get right on into the next one. Of course, blue team with a complete reversal from game number 2, right? Like, they just woke up and were like, all right, time to do destruction. Closed out with like 4 stocks, basically 4 stocks, because Axscent kind of threw one away with a wild recovery at the bottom of the map, but technically 3 stocks.
Now swapping it up by going over to Enigma. Have we seen any Enigma today?
No, the closest we've seen is Great Hall, but that's just because it's a tri-plat map.
So definitely not a regular pick in singles or doubles. Wow, that's going to be a very early knockout onto a very tanky Barraza.
Speaking of Great Hall, that's a thing that would not have happened on Great Hall. Great Hall with a very high ceiling. That's one of the things that's nice about Enigma in comparison, that the ceiling isn't quite as high.
And that's going to be a nice thing that Thotot is making up for his struggles last game.
Oh, launched into his teammate side sig. The double weapon toss from the blue team. Just that wall of weapons. The blue team steals the lead.
And that sidelight sent Axscent really far, almost knocking out with that neutral light that ended up catching Axscent as he drifted into it.
Oh, nice big side air though from E. Gonna even up that stock count, and Reaper's got to be careful, actually. Reaper is the most damage on the screen. Yeah, Reaper gonna go down to his final stock very quickly. This is doable for the red team.
Neutral light's gonna put E in maybe a little bit of a rough position. Red team coming out with a friendly fire. Neutral light onto Axscent. Thotot trying to reset. Side light. Ooh, Axscent finds the neutral signature. Going with the ground pound. Pulled out a little bit early. The dare follow-up did not make a connection.
I couldn't quite finish that stock off, but the side air will do it for the blue team. And again, blue team now back in the lead, but the eyes are on Reaper. Reaper almost in the orange, could get knocked out shortly and leave Axscent in that rough 1v2.
Yeah, we could see the red team just try and bully him out of this game, like Thotot was able to bully him out of the first stock.
Nice.
Oh, D-Sig picking up both. Ooh. I expected another one. I honestly didn't think he was going to go for the dare in between. I thought it was just going to be ground pound until he got the knockout.
Yeah. Just ground pound into ground pound into ground pound. But now it's all left to Thotot in the 1v2. Neutral signature will take Reaper out of the game. But can Thotot do this? There's 2 stocks left on Axscent.
There's a weapon spawn on the field. Thotot's able to grab it. No problem there whatsoever. The side air almost knocking out. Thotot's able to get back. There is a weapon spawn on the field, but a neutral air from Axscent. Oh, he's done! Gravity cancel neutral signature. Reaper and Axscent are going to take it 3-1 over the extreme underdogs, Thotot and E.
That was a fantastic read to close out game number 4 from Axscent. But like you said, Axscent and Reaper are going to close it out 3-1 over Thotot and E. But amazing showing from this team of Thotot and E, a team that we haven't seen in Southeast Asia. To go back to your previous metaphor of the window wiping thing, mirror, going from 33rd to 5th is a pretty nice glow up.
It's the wipe challenge. It's on TikTok, dude. Come on.
Yeah, man.
That's what all the Zoomers are doing right now. Come on.